Artificial intelligence was supposed to be the crown jewel of the 21st century, the long-promised revolution that would transform human life, work, and imagination. At the forefront of this AI explosion stood ChatGPT, OpenAI's conversational marvel that once mesmerized the world with its seemingly limitless abilities. It could write essays in seconds, craft poems on demand, generate business plans overnight, and even mimic the voice of philosophers, teachers, and storytellers. For many, it felt like humanity had unlocked the doorway to artificial general intelligence, a machine that could think and create almost like us. But just as quickly as the hype peaked, the disillusionment began. Users who once celebrated ChatGPT started to complain. It was repetitive. It was cautious to a fault. It forgot context. It refused too many requests. It lacked depth when pushed to philosophical questions. And, perhaps most damning, it often gave answers that felt safe but shallow. Slowly, the narrative shifted from AI will replace humans to AI still has limits we can't ignore. This story, the rise, the stumble, and the critique of ChatGPT, is not just about a single product. It's about the broader question: have we already reached the ceiling of AI intelligence? Or is this just a temporary stumble in a much bigger journey? The meteoric rise of ChatGPT. When OpenAI released ChatGPT in late 2022, the world had never seen anything quite like it. Millions rushed to test its abilities. Social media exploded with screenshots of witty conversations, clever jokes, full-blown research papers, and even love letters generated by an AI. In classrooms, teachers worried about plagiarism. In offices, managers debated if junior employees would be replaced. The hype wasn't just about the tool. It was about the idea that humanity had finally created something close to artificial general intelligence. Investors poured billions into AI startups. Microsoft bet heavily on OpenAI, integrating ChatGPT into Bing and Office. Suddenly, every company wanted to add AI to its products. It felt like a gold rush, a new digital frontier where human creativity and machine intelligence were merging. But beneath the excitement was a critical misunderstanding. ChatGPT wasn't thinking like humans. It was predicting patterns in language. It wasn't conscious, nor did it understand the world. It was sophisticated mimicry, trained on oceans of text. And while that illusion was powerful, illusions can only last so long. The philosophical wall. The deeper the critics went, the more profound the shortcomings became. Could ChatGPT reason? Not really. It could simulate reasoning, but it didn't understand logic in the human sense. Could it create? It could remix patterns of creativity, but originality, the spark of something truly new, was debatable. Could it know the truth? No, because it had no concept of truth, only probability. This philosophical wall made many ask, is ChatGPT a glimpse of the future, or is it already the limit of what large language models can achieve? After all, no matter how much data it consumes, it's still pattern matching, not experiencing reality. It can describe grief, but it cannot feel grief. It can summarize physics, but it cannot perform experiments. This isn't just a limitation of ChatGPT. It may be the limitation of all language-based AI. Intelligence, after all, might require grounding in the physical world, sensory experience, and self-awareness. Without that, AI may forever remain an imitation of intelligence rather than intelligence itself. This commoditization revealed another hard truth. AI might not be the singular product to rule the world, but just one of many utilities, like search engines or word processors. The dream of dominance was slipping away, the human factor. Another reason ChatGPT failed to meet expectations is human nature itself. We get bored quickly. The first time ChatGPT wrote a Shakespearean sonnet about pizza, it was hilarious. The 100th time, it was predictable. Novelty fades. Users began demanding more. More reasoning, more originality, more personalization. But AI evolves more slowly than human expectations. It takes years to retrain models, to advance architectures, to incorporate breakthroughs. Humans, by contrast, move on within weeks. What once felt like magic now feels mundane. This mismatch between expectation and reality doomed ChatGPT to a rapid fall from grace. Have we reached the limit? The biggest question remains, is this the end of AI progress as we imagined it? Are we hitting a ceiling where language models, no matter how large, will never cross into true intelligence? Some researchers argue yes. Without grounding in physical experience, AI will remain simulation, not cognition. Others argue that future breakthroughs in multimodal AI, robotics, and neuromorphic computing will break past these barriers. ChatGPT's failure is not the failure of AI itself, but a reminder that intelligence is more complex than we thought. Perhaps the problem isn't ChatGPT. Perhaps the problem is our definition of intelligence. Lessons learned. ChatGPT's rise and stumble teach us several lessons. Hype cycles are dangerous. We oversold AI as something it was never designed to be. Intelligence is not imitation. True cognition requires more than statistical prediction. Tools have limits. ChatGPT is a powerful assistant, but it cannot replace human thought, creativity, or judgment. The human spark matters. What makes human work meaningful is not just the output, but the experience, the emotion, the intent behind it. These lessons do not spell the end of AI. Instead, they ground it. They remind us that technology is not magic. It is engineering with boundaries, the future beyond the failure. So, is ChatGPT a failure? Not entirely. It may have failed to live up to the fantasy of artificial general intelligence, but it succeeded in changing the world's imagination. It forced us to confront what intelligence means. It reshaped industries, workflows, and education. It sparked debates about art, creativity, and the future of work. Conclusion: the limit of illusion. ChatGPT's story is not one of collapse, but of correction. It is the story of a world that mistook mimicry for intelligence, and of a tool that showed us both the potential and the limits of language-based AI. We wanted a machine that could think, but what we got was a mirror. One that reflects our words, our knowledge, and our creativity back at us. A mirror is powerful, but it is not alive. So why did ChatGPT fail? Not because it was useless, but because we demanded it be more than it could ever be. Perhaps the real limit is not AI itself, but our own endless hunger for magic in machines. And yet, as history shows, every failure carries within it the seed of the next revolution. The story of AI is far from over. ChatGPT is not the end, it is the beginning.